Hello, my name is Cheryl and welcome back to my channel, UK Royal Message, making videos relating to British Royal. By following my interesting videos, you can immerse yourself in the UK history and discovery of them. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to update every latest videos and content. Let's get started. In today's video, I am going to introduce to you, in the previous video, we talked about the First and Second British Empire, but today, another video with the consequence of that. To answer the question, why did the British Empire collapse? Over the course of the 20th century, Britain's empire broke down in stages. After the First World War, 1914 to 1918, there was a feeling of nationalism sweeping the globe, whereby countries should have the right to be independent and rule themselves. In 1926, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa became independent, meaning they were no longer under British control. So, why will these countries given the independence first? Well, by this time, this country has large, white populations of European descent. Living under the rules of formal governments, they were therefore considered to be more experienced and able to run their own country successfully, which would benefit the empire as a whole. British views held by the British at the time meant that the other British colony, with large populations of non-white people, weren't granted independence, even when they asked for it. Over the next decades, however, the remaining colonies continued to push for independence. After the Second World War, Britain no longer had the wealth of strength to manage the empire overseas. Many colonies, as found for the British during the war, although people of color were mainly given low-rank position, and were making their own plans for independence. In 1947, India won its independence, and from 1950s to 1980s, African colonies also fought for and won their independence. The last significant British colony, Hong Kong, was returned to China in 1997. What has taken hundreds of years to build was broken down far quicker. That said, there are some small fragments of the British Empire that still exist today. None of the British overseas territories. These are mainly self-governing countries separate to the United Kingdom that continue to share a bond with Britain. They include Angola, Bermuda, British Antarctic Territory, British Indian Ocean Territory, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Falkland Islands, Gibraltar, Montserrat, Pitcairn Islands, Saint Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha. Next, another extending part is about the fight for independence. Have a think how the British Empire collapsed because they fought for the independence. In their efforts to free themselves from British rule, many people were treated cruelly, and in some cases, demands and protests were met with violence from British forces. In 1919, for example, in an event known as the Amritsar Massacre, the British imprisoned and killed thousands of Indian people taking part in a people independence protest. Years later, in 1950s, Kenya, one of the most horrific events in British history took place during the Mau Mau uprising. In response to protests and violent riots, the Britons executed Kenyans as imprisoned many in camps where they were forced to live in inhumane conditions, and an event tortures estimates on the number of Kenyans affect very hugely, but then we believe that thousands were executed, 10,000 imprisoned, and over 1 million were forced from their homes and made to live elsewhere. The truth about what happened in Kenya is hidden for many years, and the truth came to light in 2013 after a group of Kenyans victims won a court battle and forced the British government to apologize and payment compensation for their surroundings.